Welcome to the Soulful Success by Design podcast. I'm Kendra Woods, your host and a former corporate healthcare executive turned entrepreneur. After battling burnout, I discovered the magic of human design. As a 6'2" splenic projector, I am here to lead you on a journey of self-discovery, self-mastery, and unstoppable growth. So join me as we dive into the world of human design, mindset, energetics, and aligned success. We will talk about the highs and the lows of creating soulful and meaningful success in your life and business on your terms. Are you ready? Let's dive in. Hello, beautiful people, and welcome back to the Soulful Success by Design podcast. I am your host, Kendra Woods, and I am super excited to be talking to you today about tapping into the quantum mind. So before we get into all of that, first of all, I just want to, as I always do, thank my listeners for listening. Thank you for the reviews you are leaving. Thank you for the ratings. Thank you for sharing this podcast. If you feel that what we are sharing here could support someone else, thank you, thank you, thank you. So before we dive into the quantum mind and how we can utilize the quantum mind to unlock the mindset of success, I want to remind you that the Reader's Path School of Human Design Wisdom is currently open for enrollment. And this is the human design school that I co-founded with my partner, Michelle Renee Robinson. And inside of this school, we take you on a 10-month journey of mastering human design. So if you are somebody, a coach, a healer, a consultant, a practitioner, and you love the beautiful system of human design and you want to learn it more and you want to understand the depths and the nuance of human design, then our school is for you. So not only will you learn how to apply human design to yourself and how to live your design, but you will also learn how to take what you have learned and utilize this to support and guide the people who you serve. So doors are currently open right now. It is application only. You will find the link in the show notes. So if you want to click that link, it'll take you to the invitation page. You can read all the details. You can fill out your application and we will get in touch with you. Or if you need to ask some questions, or maybe you have some curiosities about how certain things work in the school, you can also book a admissions call and we'd be happy to have a conversation with you to support you in making the best decision for you. All right, so let's get into our episode today. So when I talk about the quantum mind, this is something that for me and myself, how I see this, the quantum mind is really a transformative way of seeing and experiencing the world. It is about connecting us to the unseen realm where endless possibilities exist. So this is not about looking at what is in front of you in the material world and believing that that's the only thing that exists. This is about allowing yourself to raise your level of consciousness, step into another way of thinking to tap into the endless possibilities, the other potentialities that are available to you. And so what happens here with this quantum mind concept is that it requires you to release old, outdated beliefs and embrace a new, ever-evolving, ever-changing vision that aligns with your highest potential. So this is all about you being willing to step into growth and evolution on a daily basis. Now, I believe that it is important to evolve our mindset to align with our highest potential. And I believe it's crucial because it shapes how we perceive and interact with the world around us, which directly influences our reality. So if you are somebody or someone who you value growing yourself, you value personal growth, and you're always looking at how you can become a better woman, how you can create an even better reality for yourself, then you also have to be willing to utilize your mind and your brain in a different way. And we're going to talk about the difference between the mind and the brain today. And we're going to talk about also how we can integrate and utilize human design as a tool to support us in increasing and leveling up our mindset. So here's what happens when we align our mindset with our highest potential, what happens is we unlock new possibilities. We break free from limiting beliefs and past patterns, and we're able to step into a life that truly reflects our capabilities and that truly reflects our desires. And that is really what we want. So, the thing about the quantum mind, let's kind of dive into understanding it first. The quantum mind connects us to the unseen realm. You could call this the quantum realm. You could call this the spiritual realm. You could call this the unseen realm. It's the realm that is around us that a lot of us don't really pay attention to. And if you're someone who's listening to this and you're thinking, oh my gosh, this sounds so woo. What is she talking about? This doesn't make any sense. I want to invite you to just suspend your belief for a moment and just open your mind and open your heart to this conversation and see what shifts happen as you listen to this. See what dots you can begin to connect that can support you in looking at this in a new way. So, as we are developing our quantum mindset, as I mentioned earlier, it requires us to release outdated beliefs and embrace a new vision. And because we are human beings, because we are always evolving and always changing, your vision may change, your mission may change. For business owners, your messaging may change because you're constantly evolving and changing. And so the key thing that I want you to take away here around this quantum mind is that the quantum mind is it's energy. Okay. And we can't see energy. We can feel energy. We can tune in to energy. It is there, but you can't physically see it with your eyes. And so this is where being able to develop your mind in such a way, the quantum mind, as I am calling it, this is where that is so important. Okay. So before I embraced what I call the quantum mind, I was limited by the same perspective and possibilities, what I had always known. And here's the thing we've got to know about ourselves is that you hear me say this in human design. When we tap into our authority in human design, it's about tapping into your body. It's not about making decisions from the head because your brain can only give you what it already knows. And so if you're trying to create and make decisions or create a new reality or shift into, a new version of yourself, you got to step out of the brain piece because your brain only knows what it has experienced. And so you've got to step into this other realm where you got to use your imagination a little bit. And so as I began to, on my journey of developing my mind, developing my mindset, stepping into this quantum mind, understanding my human design really opened my eyes because again, human design it was a powerful tool that allows me to see myself and my potential. So your human design will help you see your potential and tap into your potential. And that's the energies that we talk about in the human design chart. Every gate, every channel, every center, the energy types, the profiles, it's all energetic archetypes, right? So then we've got to make this differentiation between our brain and our mind. So let's talk about this for a moment. Your brain is like the physical structure for logical and abstract thinking. And when I think about the human design aspect of it, this is the ajna part of your human design chart because the ajna is all about bridging together concepts. It's kind of that abstract thinking aspect. And now the mind is the manifestation of thoughts, perceptions, imagination. And so the mind is the head center in human design. And so the mind influences the brain and the brain responds to the mind. So they work very, very close together. And so that is why in human design, you have the head center and the ajna center, which what we're talking about. So the head center would be the mind, the ajna would be the brain. These two are always working together, whether you have it defined or undefined. It's always working together. And so when we think about the mind and the brain, the mind is energy, and the brain then translates its energy into experiences. Okay. And so the ajna, being the brain, is what translates what's coming through your head center, all the inspiration, all the pressure for answers. Your ajna is trying to translate that and manifest that into something that makes sense. And so this is why when we do the work of developing our mind and developing our brain, what happens is you begin to have this experience where when you are cultivating a healthy mind and a healthy brain, you change you change how you show up in experiences. And this is where we go into neuroplasticity. And I'm not sure if you've ever heard of this concept of neuroplasticity, but it's the brain's ability to adapt and change. And so here's the thing. When I hear people say, well, this is the way I've always been, or I've can find someone maybe stuck in a certain belief or a certain way of thinking. Just because you've always thought a certain way or believed certain beliefs doesn't mean that you don't have the ability to shift them. If you are wanting to create more abundance in your life, for example, then you're going to need to examine what thoughts, what beliefs you hold around money that are in conflict with this idea of bringing in more abundance. And so as you're doing that work, you are literally changing the brain. Your brain is adapting to this new way that you desire to be. You desire to be abundant. And so then you're doing the mindset work. And as you're doing that, the brain is then changing and adapting. And this is what we call neuroplasticity. And so when you're consistently focusing on positive thoughts, emotions, and intentions, you create new neural pathways that reinforce these healthier patterns. And now neural pathways are what you have in the brain. And so every time you have a thought or you react to something, there are particular neural pathways that fire. They're always firing, always firing, always firing. So the more you think a certain thought, the more you take a particular action, that neural pathway in your brain just gets deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper. And the way that I like to think of neural pathways, they're like little highways in the brain, right? Little highways in the brain that literally give direction to your every action and every thought and behavior that you have. And so when you are wanting to make changes and you're wanting to no longer take that same roadway of scarcity, for example, or you're done taking that same roadway of feeling unworthy, then what happens is you then decide to carve out a new neural pathway, a new way of thinking that says, I am worthy, a new way of thinking that says, I am abundant and I'm worthy of abundance. And so you've got to keep thinking that way and really focusing on those particular thoughts and really tapping into the emotions of that so that you can form a new neural pathway that is stronger than the one that you've been operating from for years and decades. And so over time, this rewiring that you're doing of the brain not only shifts your mindset, but it also transforms how you perceive and respond to the world around you, allowing you to create a life and a business that aligns more closely with your true desires and your potential. And so what this means is that when you intentionally cultivate a healthy mind, you're literally reshaping your brain to support a more fulfilling and successful life for yourself. And now I know this is just one piece of the puzzle, right? Because there's other aspects that we definitely would want to get into, but let's start here. One of the first things I did when I started my personal development journey is I began to have what a mindset routine. So before I would go to work, this is when I was in corporate, before I would go into work, I would get up at 3:34 a.m., was before anyone in my household was awake. And I would go into I call it my prayer closet, my walk-in closet. I had like a little section in the front of my walk-in closet where I would sit there and I would rewrite my affirmations. I would rewrite the things that I was choosing to believe. I would meditate. I would journal, and I would really just work on my mindset in the morning to help me step into the new reality that I wanted to create for myself. And so here is a process of what this looks like. You have a thought that's followed by an emotion. From there, you have a choice to make about what action you're going to take. And then based on that action is what you then manifest into the world. So think, feel, choose, manifest. And that is a very simplistic way of looking at it. Obviously, there's some nuance there, but this is how we're wired and how we work. Our thoughts inform our emotions inform our thoughts. And then from that loop, we are day by day, moment by moment, making choices based on that then creates the results that we see in our lives. And so as we are taking this journey into the quantum mind, I thought I would share with you the 4 different mindsets, the 4 different levels of consciousness that we sometimes can find ourselves in. And I'm going to share those with you here today. And I want to remind you that it's not about being in one mindset all the time or one level of consciousness. You will probably find that you bounce around between these different levels of consciousness that I'm going to share with you. So the 4 levels of consciousness, the first one is the to me mindset. And this is typically where you find the posture of that victim mentality. It's experienced as blaming and complaining. So this is that person that's always complaining about what's not right and what's not good. The person who never takes responsibility for their lives, right? And they're blaming other people for the things happening in their life. And so in this to me mindset, beliefs and questions are what reinforce this victim mentality. So there are certain beliefs and there are certain questions that this person is questioning and thinking and saying over and over and over again that validates and reinforces this identity that says life is happening to me. And so when we think about this particular level of consciousness, you don't have a lot of power there, right? You're not in an empowered place in this mindset. And I think at some point in all of our lives, we have all been there. So there is no judgment about, this level of consciousness that I'm sharing with you. We've all been there at one point, but I want to share these with you because when you know this information, you can then make a conscious choice of what level of consciousness you want to operate in. So the next level of consciousness is called the by me mindset. And the way that this looks, this is a person who has a posture of the creator, right? They know that they are here to create. And this is experienced as an individual who values personal empowerment and appreciation, right? That gratitude. And the perspective with this mindset is they see problems as learning opportunities. Problems as learning opportunities. So when challenges come up, it's not about saying, oh, this is this person's fault, or it's because of this reason this happened. It's looking at the challenge and saying, okay, how can I learn from this? What are the lessons that I'm meant to learn from this? And then we have the next level of consciousness, which is called the through me mindset. And this posture, this experience is that of feeling like you're a co-creator. You're co-creating. You're here and you're co-creating with source, with God, with universe, with whomever you believe your higher power to be. There's a co-creation that is happening. And this is experienced as flow. It's experienced as this wonder and awe. And again, you've experienced this, I'm sure you've had moments where you feel like you're just flowing. For me, honestly, I feel like I'm having one of those days today where things are just flowing. I'm tapping into my intuition. I'm listening to what the nudges that I'm feeling, and I'm just flowing and taking the steps, and the resistance is very, very low. And in this mindset, this through me mindset, it's about embracing the idea that life's problems I'm doing air quotes for those who can't see me, life's problems are opportunities. And so it's not about, oh, well, what can I learn from this problem? It's looking at the challenge and saying, oh, this is an opportunity for something greater. This is amazing. This is exciting. I can't wait to see what opportunities are going to come from this. And then the last level of consciousness is called the as me mindset. And the posture here with this level of consciousness is like oneness with all. This is the highest level of just knowing that we are all connected. And the experience of this mindset is one of peace. It's one of spaciousness. It's non-dualism, meaning it's not about like, well, this is me and this is you. It's looking at everything around you and recognizing that you are connected to every single thing around you and every single person around you. And so this level of consciousness is about moving beyond questions to really just this state of knowingness. You're not questioning life. You're not, wondering, well, why is this happening and why is that happening? It's just this knowingness that we're all connected, all is well. There's a lot of spaciousness. There's peace. You're not forcing anything. You are literally just being. And we all, like I said before, fluctuate through all different levels of these mindsets. But when we understand what these four levels of consciousness are, or these four levels of mindset are, you can begin to become someone who makes a conscious choice and a conscious decision of how they are going to show up day by day, moment by moment. Okay. So when we are looking at playing in the quantum field, as I call it, you got to understand like what the quantum field is. The quantum field is the non-material aspect of reality that holds infinite possibilities. And so if you can just allow yourself to tap into the idea that there are so many different pathways that you can take in life. You may not be seeing it right now or living it right now in your current reality, but if you can allow yourself just to think bigger, just bring your mind out a little bit and say, okay, you know what? There are other possibilities out there for me. And it's about playing in that realm. So asking the question of what's possible. What is possible? And this really is about that what you focus on changes. Where your energy goes, things will change. So this is about taking yourself out of your everyday, mundane, rhythmic way of habitual way of thinking and being, and really challenging yourself to say, okay, you know what, for today, I am going to practice just keeping myself open to what's possible. I'm going to look for new possibilities. I'm going to look for the abundance around me. I'm going to look for what feels most aligned for me. For entrepreneurs, I'm going to look for all the possible ways that I can share my message. I'm going to open myself up to the possibilities. So as you are playing in the quantum field, you have to understand how to work with the different energies that are out in the world, because the quantum field is always responding to your energy and to your emotions, always. If you could understand that everything around you is always responding to you and your energy, your emotions, the way that you're thinking, always. And so what I love about the bringing human design into this is that human design, I believe, like, it gives words to your own energy. It gives words to energy, and it supports you in knowing how to navigate the quantum field in an authentic way that's right for you. And so understanding your human design, it gives you a roadmap on how to navigate the energies of the quantum field and the world around you from a place of alignment, from a place of authenticity. And so you are able to successfully navigate your energy and manage your energy in a way that serves you best, instead of how you've been taught by others to interact with the world. So see, when we are operating in a way that we've been taught that, We should operate this way. We should do things this way. We should say this. We should say that. We shouldn't do this. If you're operating in that realm, then you're operating from the brain, right? And I want to encourage you today to operate from a bigger place and really step into, okay, what does my design say about this? Okay. And the way that we work through this with our human design is we do the work of deconditioning. And I have talked about deconditioning on the podcast before. So I want to invite you to go back and look for the episodes where I talked about deconditioning, because this is what we want to be stepping into when we're looking at stepping into our most authentic self. And so, episode 13, I was looking it up for you. Episode 13, the power of deconditioning, is where I talk about this. And so, when we get into this work of deconditioning in human design, it's about, of course, releasing limiting beliefs and societal norms to uncover your true self. It's about trusting your authority and making aligned decisions for yourself. And the way that you want to look at this and where you can start is looking at the growth opportunities in your human design chart. And that's going to be in your undefined or open centers, because those centers for you reveal areas of conditioning that you can work with so that you can tap into your wisdom and bring yourself more into alignment with the greater possibilities that are available to you in your life. And so if you're wanting to create soulful success, you've got to then be willing to think bigger, think different, respond differently, let go of old ways of being. You got to step into a new identity. And this is where cultivating the quantum mind comes into play. And so I hope that you're listening to this and that you have listened to this and you're thinking, what does this mean for me? I want to invite you to just get curious about what I've talked about today. Let your curiosity kick in and just say, this is interesting. Like, I wonder what could be different for me if I chose to just look at what's possible. I mean, even just thinking about, like, I got butterflies in my belly just now, just thinking about the idea of sitting down and just thinking about what's possible, instead of looking at what's in front of you right now and thinking about how much you don't like it, or how you're not making as much as you want to in your business, or how your relationship is not what you really want it to be, or how your body is not really how you want it to be. I want to invite you to take some time and get curious and just think about, well, what's possible for me in the area of relationships? What's possible for me in the areas of business? Not based on what has already happened in your past, but based on the quantum field of possibilities. What is possible? And so, final thoughts I want to share with you around this episode is, number one, your mindset shapes your reality, period. Your thoughts, beliefs, and perceptions you hold in your mind directly influence the life that you create. So it's time to evolve your mindset, to open yourself up to new possibilities and align more closely with your highest potential. It is in there. Your potential is in there. And your assignment is to do the work to recognize what your potential is and then do the work of cultivating and developing that potential. The next thing I want to share with you as a final thought is, really understanding the power of the quantum mind, because the quantum mind allows you to see beyond limitations, to tap into the unseen realm and connect with the infinite possibilities that are around you. And this shift is really essential when you're looking to manifest the life that you truly desire. And understanding also the role that neuroplasticity plays. Remember that your brain is constantly evolving. And so by cultivating a healthy mind, you can rewire your brain to support more empowering thoughts and experiences. And all of this transforms how you interact with the world around you. But it does require you to take the step, to make the effort, to know that you are worth the effort. Okay. And then lastly, aligning with your authentic self. and understanding that when you align with your human design and aligning with your human design, that this is a powerful way to navigate the energies of the quantum field, the energies around you. And your human design helps you to make decisions that are true to you, that lead to greater fulfillment and success. So I want to leave you with that and encourage you to take some time to get curious about how you can step into the quantum mind and tap into what's possible for you. I want to encourage you to know and inspire you to know that you have so much potential within you. And if you're willing, that's all you've got to be, is willing to tap into and look at the potentiality that is within you. And that potentiality can be found in your human design chart, your beautiful, unique, energetic blueprint. Okay. So that is all I have for you today. I want to remind you again that our Human Design School is open. The Reader's Path School of Human Design Wisdom is open for enrollment. It is application only. I'll put the link in the show notes for you. And I also want to offer you this. I do human design readings. So if you have never had a human design reading before and you're loving learning about human design and you're wanting to really know, like, okay, how does this apply to me? And what does this look like for me to live my design and integrate this information? I want to encourage you to book a reading with me. I have 2 different levels. You can do a foundational level where we just talk about your type, strategy, authority, and profile, I think. And then I have more of a deep dive reading where we go into many, many layers, the many layers of your human design chart to support you in stepping into your potential. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you for tuning in. Remember, if you have any questions or thoughts or any ideas for episodes you would love for me to do, feel free to DM me over on Instagram. I am at Soulful Success by Design. So go out there and create success from your soul on your terms. I'll talk to you next time. Thank you so much for tuning in to today's episode of Soulful Success by Design. If you enjoyed our conversation and found value in it, please leave a rating and review on iTunes to help me continue bringing more inspiring content your way. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram at Soulful Success by Design or visit my website at kendrakWoods.com for extra inspiration and resources. I appreciate you so much and can't wait to connect with you in the next episode. Until then, remember to create success from your soul and on your terms.